Hello everyone, welcome back. In yesterday's session, we discussed about the RDD, which is the basic unit which holds the data into memory. Okay, but nowadays industry trend is to use data frames. Okay, not RDD. Okay, so you might be wondering like what is data frame in Spark? So actually, data frame, if I try to define it, then actually I would say it's like conceptually it's similar to MySQL table or RDBMS table. Okay, conceptually it's like a table, but it's like a distributed collection of data spread across multiple machines. Okay, this is how we can define it, like distributed collection of data with schema attached. Okay, so actually now you might have questions like then since we are going to deal with data frames, then how to create a data frame, how it looks. Okay, so actually there are multiple ways to create data frame, but I will try to explain the ways that we are going to use in industry nowadays. Okay, so first one is reading from data sources, I mean CSV file, text file, Parquet file, Avro file, JSON file, like that. And second one is reading from Hive tables. So we have option to read a data directly from Hive table and create a data frame. Okay. And third way is like directly we can create a data frame if we have data available. Like if we have a list available, then we can create it. Okay. And now we will discuss one by one. Okay. So first of all, we will try to explore reading it from data sources. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so for now what I did, I have tried to create the Spark session. This is what my boilerplate code looks like. I have tried to create my Spark session. Now Spark session is available. So now what we can do, I will tell you this best way to create a data frame. Okay, the best possible way. Okay, so let's start. So Spark dot, this is Spark variable I'm going to use. Spark dot read dot which format I'm going to use, which format I want to read. First of all, we will try the CSV file. Okay, so now what I can do, then second property will be like dot option. Since it's a CSV file, then actually we can provide multiple options. Okay, so what I will provide, like header, do you want, if I want to read it header as well, so what I will make header as true. Okay, and now another option I have, this option ideally we should not use it in production environment, but for now I'm giving the demo purpose, actually I'm showing you. Please don't try to use this infer schema in prod environment. Actually this infer schema means it will try to infer a schema directly from a data, means like we don't need to provide like this column I want this type and all, this will try to fetch it. Okay, and another option will be like path, at which path my CSV file is located. Okay, so now what I will do, I have few CSV files. Okay, so what I will do, I will customers.csv. Okay, and I will try to load it. Okay, this is how, this is the standard way of reading the CSV file. Okay, so at the end we are going to get one data frame, so I'm going to name it as a customer data frame. Okay. Now, if you want to see what are the columns are there, so what you can do, customers dot print schema. Okay. And if you want to see the content of a data frame, then you can see it will show by default 20 records. Show. Okay. Let's see. Let's run it. Okay. See. Now let me show you how file looks and how we have read it. Okay, first of all, let me open it. CSV file. See, there are almost 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 columns are there. Nine columns are there. Okay, these columns we tried to read, and the same columns you will see over here as well. See, all the columns are there. Okay, and see, since we put that infer schema true, it identified the customer ID is integer, so it tried to take it. Okay, this is how we can read the CSV file. Okay, and now consider I want to read the JSON file. So what you need to do here, we need to mention JSON. Okay, and by default JSON will infer the schema, and there will be no header, so we can remove it. And we have one file, I will show you that first. We have one file, players.cs json. So what I will try to do, I will try to open it. Okay, I will try to open it in notepad. See, this is my json file. This is it looks like. So I want to read it. So now what we can do, we can provide the name of a file. Okay, this is how. Now I will name it as a players data frame. Okay, now what I will do, I will try to run it. And see, since we changed the data frame name, actually we need to change these two names as well. Okay, and if you see, we have got the JSON print schema and we have got the result as well. Okay, then you might be wondering, like, then what will be the default format of reading the Spark file? Okay, Spark. So actually by default the format will be Parquet. Okay, so by default format of reading it is Parquet file. Okay, so we have one Parquet file called sample. So we will try to read that as well. Sample dot Parquet. Okay. Now here if you see, we are able to read that Parquet file as well. Okay, but if you try to read the Parquet file from notepad, you will not be able to understand anything. Okay, this is how it looks, but data is something like this. Yeah, order ID, order date, and order customer ID. Okay, so now, like, is it mandatory to give format over here? Then I would say it's not mandatory. If you remove also, it will work. It will work fine. Okay. Now we will discuss the second way of creating a data frame. Okay, the second way is to create a data frame is like from Hive tables. Okay, so now here what we can do, while creating a Spark session, we have one option, enable Hive support. Okay, this we can do, and by enabling it, what we can do, actually I don't have Cloudera installed on my machine, so I will not be able to connect it, but I will show syntactically how we can read it. Okay, so what we'll do, we will try to create one customer data frame. Consider customer table is available in Hive. So what we can do, spark.sql, and here we can give a query, select customer ID. Consider one table, customer ID and customer address. Okay, select from, this will be this will be a Hive table. So there might be something called something schema name dot table name. Okay, so this is how when we create when we read a Hive table, then also we get the data frame. So this is the second way to create a Spark data frame. Okay, now we will discuss the third way of creating a data frame. Here consider you have a list. Okay, Python list. Okay, which contains 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 values. Okay, so from a list, if you want to create a data frame, then we have one method called spark.create data frame. Okay, so before that, actually we need to create a schema for this list. Okay, though, so the standard way of creating a schema is like struct type, and in this we have a list of struct fields, and here whatever column name you want to give, you can give, and what is the type of that column, and third parameter will be, is that be null? If null is possible, then yeah. And actually yeah, there are 6 to 7 columns, yeah, 6 columns, so before that. Okay, so now how we can create a data frame. So what I will do, I will create one, I will create sample data frame. Okay, so what, how we can create, spark dot create data frame, where data will be this list name is data2. Okay, data2, and what is the schema for this list is schema. Okay, we have got the schema. Now we have got the spark data frame as well. So spark data frame dot print schema, we can print it, and again we can give the spark dot show. And now if we try to run it, we will get the schema as well as 20 records, top 20 records. See, we have got this